Hello, my name is Chris Campbell, and we welcome you to another episode of One-on-One. Our guest for today's installment is Councilman Daniel Brightwell. Welcome to the show, Councilman.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be here.
All right, well, we're going to get right into it. Before being on council, you had the privilege of chairing the Veterans Commission. Now, how did being chairman of the Veterans Commission prepare you for what you do now?
It was a very good experience. I was chair for 10 years. And over that 10 years, I got a chance to know the city, know the various officers in the city, and I got a chance to know how to get things done in the city from a logistics standpoint, because our Veterans Commission was extremely active in the community, and we would put on yearly a veteran research fair. So I needed to interface with the various individuals who knew how to get the facilities set up and also how to get things mic'd, how to get things organized and planned. So it was a very good training ground, so to speak.
All right, wonderful. Now let's talk about your time in the military. Where in the military did you serve? And then what principles of leadership did you take from the military and basically put into what you do now and how you lead on council?
Okay. I was in the U.S. Army. I volunteered to go into the Army at a very early age. I was admitted to Morehouse College. But I come from a family of 7 kids, so I needed additional money. They gave me X amount of scholarship money, but it was not, enough. So, and I couldn't necessarily ask my father for any money with 7 kids. Well, 6 and me made 7. So I decided to go into the Army at a very early age, 17, when I finished high school. And from there, I went to the transportation school up in Virginia. There was a transportation movement school. I learned how to coordinate the movement of Army materiel all around the world. And that was your movement control specialist. Like right now, with the war going on, you see them transporting troops, they're transporting rifles, guns, materiel. There's a system for that. There's a group of individuals in the Transportation Corps that coordinates that. You have to work with the Air Force, and you have to work with the Navy, and whoever is needed to get something from point A to point B. So I was a movement control specialist. And just so happened, I was assigned to Fort Bragg, North Carolina. Our unit was a very small unit, specialized unit, and we were attached to the 82nd Airborne Division. So whenever anything happened in the world, and the 82nd Airborne got called up or got alerted, our unit was tasked with making sure they were there with everything they needed. So that was, from rifles, guns, food, showers, kitchens, and anything that needed to be moved with that. So it was a very valuable experience. I got promoted real quick because I enjoyed what I was doing. So in the Army, it's a time and grade, and I was young enough to just be a go-getter and just get in essence get things done. I got promoted. I was the youngest sergeant E5. I was the youngest E5 on Fort Bragg at the time. I think I was 18, and I was controlling that unit from a non-commissioned officer standpoint. The values that I learned in the military. From a management and leadership standpoint, something that is carried with me to this day really, was to pretty much concentrate on the mission, what needs to be done, and get my people involved and let them know what we are doing and why we're doing it. And I would, I had a very high security clearance, and there's only so much I can relate to certain individuals, but I would make sure they were schooled in or aware of what needed to be done and why it needed to be done and why it was critical, why it was not. This was critical, that was not critical, what was job one that needed to be done. And historically, I've been considered a good manager, and that's even carried over to my corporate career when I was working for, let's say, Ford and AT&T. I've had pretty good experience with management, but that would be the key management tool that I picked up, was to concentrate on the mission, get my individuals or the individuals who are responsible, get them involved, make sure they understand what needs to be done, the rationale for it, and the critical reason for it being done.
All right. Now, you've been on city council for a while now. What motivated you to initially run for council?
The Veterans Commission. So by being involved in the Veterans Commission and being in the community, this is where I live. And some individuals ask me, why am I still here? Why am I doing? But this is where I live, so I wanted to just get involved. And I was encouraged by some senior leadership in the city at that time when I was on the Veterans Commission. The senior elected officials, and they kind of encouraged me. But it was something that I wanted to do simply because this is where I live. And I enjoy it, being involved in the city. I enjoy, just getting things done. I have a history. I know that whenever I'm involved with something, I normally make it better. And so since I'm here in Southfield, I wanted to just utilize those skills and the talent that I have, or the little innate thing that comes with it. I don't know whether it's talent or just, people just like me. I don't know, but we get things done. So I wanted to just get involved in that and do what I could to better the city.
All right. Now, what's been your most rewarding moment while serving on council?
I've passed quite a few resolutions, ordinances, and maybe it comes to mind right now. It comes to mind that the item that maybe my memory is not good, but right now we got a grant from the state for $1.2 million for the San Marino to convert them to city water. They've historically been on well water, and I've worked very closely with that community for the last 3 years. I facilitated that, I shepherded that, and I kind of like whatever the community needed from the city, I got it from the city. Whatever the city needed from the community, I got it from the community. And that is very rewarding, that a major neighborhood is being converted to our city water. And that is beneficial numerous ways. And I know several individuals over there in that community, and they probably got me involved. That's really how I probably got involved. They asked me about certain things. But it's a public health issue. But they have been on well water, let's say, since the community has been there. And it saves them money. They can irrigate their lawn, they can drink it. But now we've gotten them to buy into the hooking up to the city water. It's clearly going to cost them more money, but it's a public health issue, and they will still be able to water their lawns with the well water, but they cannot use that source for drinking or water in the house. So, but the way the contract will be written, that there will be a bypass that when they hook it up, the plumber will make sure that the water from the well cannot get into the house. So maybe because of my recent memory, that's the biggest thing right now that I can recall. There were a couple other things, but that's the biggest based on a memory standpoint right now.
All right, wonderful. Now, you're known as a numbers man, having served as a finance and accounting manager at a Fortune 500 company. I believe it was Ameritech Michigan Bell, and other capacities as well. How has that helped you on council when it comes to managing budgets for the city?
I was thinking about that this morning. I do have an MBA degree in finance, and I have a BA degree in business administration. And I just thought the tools that I have, that I hone at the corporate world, they are directly transferable to what I'm doing right now. So that was a real good fit, really. And when I came on board, the council president at the time, when I was first elected in 2015, and in 2016, I became chair of the finance committee, for the city of Southfield. And I'm still the chair. I think I only served, I've been the finance chair every year I've been on council, other than 1 year when I was council president. Those skills that I brought on board, and now I will be saying a few, pumping myself on the chest a little bit. We restructured the finance committee. It almost looked like a corporate finance committee. We get the monthly reports, the kind of reports I used to get monthly, let me know how my unit was doing. I would look forward to those reports. So I set the same thing up with the fiscal director and the accounting department to make sure I got those same kind of reports every month to let me know how every department in the city and every unit in the city, how they are doing financially, how they are spending the city's money. So we get those reports, similar to what I used to get in corporate America. And I made sure we got those reports. The finance committee go over the reports every month, and they can see who's spending money, how they are not spending money, who's spending over, do numerous other things. So the skills that I brought to the table were directly transferable. And I literally thought about that this morning while I was taking a shower. and that will be, because different people ask me to, let's say, endorse them for positions, for elected positions, or different other things. And so I will be looking for the transferability of the skills that you have now that will be transferred to the city in a positive way. You bring something to the table other than just, the political rhetoric that some people might get into.
All right.
I hope I answered the question.
All right, yes. Now, we've been in the middle of a global pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, for quite some time, and it looks like there's beginning to be light at the end of the tunnel. But looking back on it, the last couple of years, what's been your biggest challenge during the pandemic?
Well, my biggest challenge has been just making sure that myself and the individuals that I'm closest to stay healthy. And I try not to be reckless, and I try not to be too adventurous. And I try to just follow the science. Now, I believe that there are some bad germs out here, and that we need to protect ourselves, either with a mask or making sure we get shots, getting inoculated when we need to. And I just go back to the fact that when I was a kid, I knew I got all kinds of shots to go to school. And I remember that at a point in time in my lifetime, you real young, polio was a big issue. And all my little friends and I, we were afraid of catching polio. And so it was like, we were happy that my parents were able to get me the polio shot. And I still remember, this was early in elementary school or something, they had something like the iron lung. And my friends and I said, we don't want to get the iron lung, those kind of things. So maybe I'm old enough to be afraid of what I don't see and what's out there. And I do kind of believe that reckless behavior can cause you some very bad health issues, really. So that's been my biggest challenge, to make sure I try to be safe and not to transfer anything to anyone in my close circle of family members and or loved ones.
Got it. Now let's talk a little bit about the man behind the city council member here. Let's talk about your family and work-life balance. What are your hobbies? What's life like apart from city council for you?
Well, I'm probably, I enjoy a lot of that. I enjoy sports. I really like baseball. I played baseball in high school, so I really like baseball, but I like other, basketball and football, but I think baseball is my favorite. I enjoy reading, and so I, just will read books and magazines, and I enjoy, when non-COVID time, going out, visiting restaurants. I enjoy food, nicely done food, and so I appreciate well done food. Well, nicely prepared food, and prepared by professional cooks and/or chefs. And I think my friend will tell me, I never put anything on my food. I said, well, when I go out, when I go out to eat, I said, I want to see how the professionals prepare the food. I don't want to be putting stuff on it, killing the taste. I want to share. I want to see, well, this guy's a woman or man, they're a top chef, so I want to see how they prepare this particular item. So when I cook it, I can see, do I cook it just like them? Some of that nature. And I would pretty much movies and the theater, the movie theater, but that's probably changing now that COVID has turned us on to all the streaming services in the house. But I did enjoy going to movies, and so that's kind of a run-of-the-mill dull life.
Mm-hmm. All right, now let's talk about the future. What's the future looking like for you? And we'll just break it up on city council, and then in your personal life, what's the future looking like for you in the next year or so?
City council, I'll be up for re-election next year, 2023. I plan to seek re-election to be on council. I still have some things I want to do on council, and I'm fairly responsive. I do get a fair amount of inquiries from me asking me to do things here in the city from the citizens. Yeah, I enjoy doing that. I enjoy reaching out to the various departments and seeing in the various individuals, saying, can we do something to alleviate this concern for this citizen? And it's a big city, relatively, and we have opportunities to constantly get things better. And one of my goals, I think this is part of your question, one of my goals on council will be, I want to get Southfield to be a AAA rated city. Right now we're AA, that's by the bond company, Moody's and Standard & Poor's. Well, S&P is our rating, bond rating, but we are rated AA, which is good, and by being rated, it saves us money when we go to borrow money for our roads, the bond issues. But I've been trying to, that's one of the reasons we have the productivity of the Finance Committee. Those things we're doing on the Finance Committee, they are steps along the way of getting a AAA rating from our bond rating agency. And that's one of my goals by being on council and a couple other things. But that's the number one goal right now. And if we do that, it will save us a lot of money. Personally, I think I'm gonna just keep doing what I've been doing, trying to stay out of harm's way, try to stay healthy, and I plan to be a little more active physically, and primarily just keep my health going and try to keep my friends that I have, and try not to, we'll just stay out of harm's way.
All right. Well, was there anything that we missed in terms of knowing about you on council or otherwise that you'd like our viewership to know about you?
No, we didn't. I think we covered everything. I enjoy what I'm doing. I've been productive. I think I've been productive. I have a resume that I've built since I've been on council that I'm proud of, and it's not. These are let's say productive things. Is nothing that they are original, and so I've been productive in the things I can pretty much say they are original, and it's been a positive for the city of Southfield, and I enjoy doing what I'm doing. So that's about it. Thank you.
All right, wonderful. Well, Councilman Brightwell, we thank you so much for coming down to the Cable 15 studios and chatting us up on One-on-One. And we wish you well in the future, and we look forward to speaking with you very soon.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
All right. Now, to view this episode of One-on-One, you can view it on the channel or go to our social media pages on YouTube and Facebook by looking up Southfield Multimedia Services. And you could also catch this on demand by going to the cityofsouthfield.com/CityCable15 website to view this footage as well. For One-on-One, my name is Chris Campbell. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.